The security footage plays in crisp 4K, showing me hunched over Father's safe in his private lab, pocketing the leather-bound journal containing our ancestral formulas. Except I never did that. I was in grass that night, sourcing jasmine absolute from the same family we've trusted for 4 generations. "This is impossible," I whisper, my fingertips pressed against the monitor's cold surface. The figure on screen has my exact posture, my signature messy bun, even the small birthmark visible on my neck. The timestamp reads 2:14 a.m. last Tuesday. "The evidence is quite clear, Sonia." Mother's voice could freeze champagne. She stands rigid in her Chanel suit, one manicured hand clutching her silk scarf. The synthetic vetiver wafting from it makes my nose twitch. Caden's new signature scent, as subtle as a sledgehammer. "Mother, please. You know I'd never—" "Enough." She won't meet my eyes. "The board has made their decision. You'll receive severance adequate for a fresh start, far from here. The Gibson name, however, stays with us." My brother leans against the doorframe, arms crossed. His face shows concern, but there's triumph in the set of his shoulders. "I'm sorry it had to end this way, sis. We'll take good care of Father's legacy. The legacy I've protected since I was 12, learning to detect each note, each subtle variation in our centuries-old formulas. While Caden was partying through business school, I was apprenticing with masters in Grasa, Kanauja, Damascus. But none of that matters now. The security footage has spoken. "You'll need to clear out your office tonight," Mother continues. "Security will escort you. My perfume lab, my sanctuary. The formulas I've been developing are company property." Caden pushes off the doorframe. "Don't worry, they're in good hands." The walk to my lab feels endless. 2 guards flank me as I fill a cardboard box with personal items. My collection of antique perfume bottles, pressed flowers from significant harvests, a framed photo of Father teaching me to use a pipette. I leave my lab coat hanging on its hook, my name embroidered in gold thread. A gift from Father when I became head perfumer. My fingers brush the hidden compartment under my desk. Empty. Of course, Caden's been thorough. The night air hits me like a slap as security leads me out the service entrance. No grand exit through the marble lobby with its wall of Gibson family portraits. I'm already being erased. I spend that first night driving aimlessly, my box of memories in the trunk. Every radio station seems to be playing our latest commercial, my commercial, featuring the rose and amber blend I created for our spring collection. By dawn, I'm signing a lease on a dingy sublet in the warehouse district, as far from the Gibson building as I can get while staying in the city. The apartment always smells of burned toast and mildew, no matter how many times I clean. I tape newspaper over the windows and start plotting. The deepfake was flawless. Caden must have had help, someone with serious tech skills. I make lists, draw connections, barely sleep. Week 3, I catch our mother's press conference on my laptop. She's announcing Caden's promotion to creative director, praising his innovative vision for the company's future. The synthetic vetiver notes in his new signature scent are giving me a headache even through the screen. That's when it hits me. Caden knows technology, but he never learned the true art of perfumery. He can't tell synthetic from natural, can't detect the subtle molecular dance that makes a fragrance sing, or fall apart. I open my notebook, the real one, not the decoy they seized, and begin sketching molecular structures. If Caden wants to play with forgeries, I'll give him something genuine to worry about, something that will make his precious signature scent collapse like a house of cards. The burned toast smell from the kitchen makes me cough, but I barely notice anymore. I have work to do. Let him think he's won. Let him build his house of synthetic cards. I may be a ghost, but I'm not dead yet. 3 a.m., and I'm deep in the Fragrance Underground forums, fingers flying across my keyboard. User Vetiver Queen claims to have insider info on Caden's launch. Revolutionary molecular binding, game-changing synthetic base, redefines luxury perfumery. I snort. My brother couldn't tell ambergris from whale vomit, but buried in the hype are useful crumbs. A lab tech's cryptic comment about unstable esters, a packaging designer's complaint about rush orders. I scratch another note in my journal, the pages sticky with essential oils. The bergamot I've been testing has stained my fingers yellow-brown, like an old smoker's. Any truth to the rumors? Someone posts. Heard the Gibson Air got pushed out for stealing formulas. My throat tightens. I switch tabs before I can read the responses. A notification pops up. Ruby, that beauty influencer I used to work with, has sent me another DM. Girl, you need to see this. Going viral on ArtStation right now. I click the link, and my coffee mug slips from my fingers. Thankfully empty, it bounces on the carpet as I stare at my artwork. My Scent Memories series, digital paintings I created during those first dark weeks of exile, each one capturing the visual essence of a perfume note. The jasmine piece is everywhere, its luminous petals morphing into moths against a midnight sky, except the signature reads, Ramona Gibson. Stunning work from an emerging talent in the Gibson dynasty. The caption declares, Ramona Gibson's Nocturnal Jasmine captures the intersection of art and olfactory experience. My cousin Ramona, who once asked me if sandalwood came from a beach, who's never created anything more artistic than an Instagram filter. I grab my phone, hands shaking. The jasmine piece has 50,000 likes already. The comments are gushing, revolutionary. Such depth. The future of fragrance visualization. The metallic taste of rage floods my mouth as I scroll through Ramona's social media. She's doing interviews, calling it her pandemic project, claiming inspiration from family heritage. There's even a photo of her in a paint-splattered smock, looking pensively at a tablet. You thieving little... I start typing a comment, then force myself to stop. I can't reveal myself. Not yet. Not when I'm so close to cracking Caden's formula. Back to the fragrance forums. A new post catches my eye. Someone claiming to be a Gibson lab assistant, complaining about impossible deadlines and molecular instability at room temperature. They're quickly shut down, probably legal threatening their NDA, but not before dropping one crucial detail. Base notes failing under UV exposure. I grab my notebook, adding this to my growing diagram. Yellow bergamot stains smear across the page as I sketch molecular structures. UV sensitivity means photoreactive compounds. Caden's trying to stabilize his synthetic base with... My phone buzzes again. Ruby. Just heard Ramona's art is being featured at the launch party. Full gallery showing. Girl, what are you going to do? I glance at my makeshift lab setup on the kitchen counter. 3 small vials of clear liquid catch the lamplight. Each one represents weeks of work, thousands in borrowed money, countless favors called in from industry contacts who still trust me. Nothing. I text back. Let her have her moment. Let them all think they've won. Let Ramona bask in stolen glory while Caden prepares his grand debut. In my notebook, the final molecular structure takes shape, an elegant trap designed to trigger a cascade of reactions the moment it meets Caden's unstable formula. I test a drop of my latest batch on a scent strip, holding it under the UV lamp. The liquid remains clear, innocent. But I know what lies dormant in those molecules, waiting to wake up. My phone keeps buzzing with notifications about Ramona's breakthrough artistic vision. I silence it and return to my work. The art was just practice anyway, a way to stay sane while I perfected this formula. Besides, true artists sign their work in more permanent ways than with a name. And soon, very soon, I'll be signing mine in molecular ink. The first batch crystallizes in the vial. Useless. The second turns cloudy and separates. The third. My hands shake as I hold it to the light. Looks perfect until it hits the test strip and fills my apartment with the stench of burning rubber. Come on, I mutter, adjusting the ratio of aldehydes. My kitchen counter has become a makeshift lab, lined with borrowed beakers and a hot plate I scored from a university surplus sale. The neighbors probably think I'm cooking meth. If they only knew. A drop of synthetic musk essence falls where it shouldn't. I curse, watching it eat through my notes. These materials don't come cheap, and my severance is running thin. But I'm close. I can feel it. The city sweats outside my window, summer heat pulling every possible odor from its pores, rotting garbage from the dumpsters below, hot asphalt softening in the sun, the metallic tang of an approaching storm. I breathe it all in, letting the urban decay inspire me. My phone vibrates. Another text from Daryl, the head chemist who used to work under me. Launch prep in full swing. K's formula still unstable, using masking agents to compensate. I smile. Caden always did try to brute force his way through problems. Any changes to the base? I text back. Same synthetic vetiver. Added some new fixatives. Not working great. Perfect. I've been calibrating my formula to target exactly that structure. My latest batch sits in a row of identical vials, catching the afternoon light. Clear as water, but far from innocent. I lift one, letting a single drop fall onto a test strip. The scent blooms. Clean rain on hot concrete, ghost-like and barely there. But beneath that subtle top note lies a complex molecular structure designed to interact with Caden's synthetic base in very specific ways. Time for the real test. I take the sample of his cologne that Daryl smuggled me and spritz it on a fresh strip. The synthetic vetiver hits like a sledgehammer, making my nose itch. Underneath, I detect the chemical signatures of his masking agents, desperately trying to hold the unstable mixture together. Holding my breath, I bring my strip near his. For a moment, nothing happens. Then, there. The synthetic vetiver note falters, turns sour. The masking agents collapse. What's left smells like spoiled milk and cheap air freshener. Holy shit, I whisper. It worked. Rain starts pattering against my window as I document the reaction. The scent of wet asphalt drifts up, mixing with my ghost note in a way that makes me shiver. I've done it. Created a formula that doesn't just mask Caden's signature scent. It destroys it. Turns it rancid. And the best part? The reaction takes just long enough that no one will connect it to my subtle rain scent. My phone buzzes again. Ruby this time. Launch party details confirmed. Gallery showing starts at 7. Main event at 9. You sure about this? I look at my row of vials, each one containing liquid revenge. Absolutely sure. The storm picks up outside, thunder rolling between buildings. I pack my formula into an atomizer, elegant and innocent-looking, the kind you'd expect to find in any upscale perfume gallery. My hands still smell like solvents, and there's a bitter taste coating my tongue from hours of testing. But I don't care. In my hands, I hold the power to unravel everything Caden built on lies. Let him preen and posture at his launch party. Let Ramona bask in her stolen glory. I uncap the atomizer one last time, letting a fine mist fill the air. Rain on concrete, a ghost's perfume. By tomorrow night, it will be everywhere. An invisible catalyst turning my brother's precious formula into something no one would want to wear. Lightning flashes, illuminating my reflection in the window. For a moment, I see myself as I used to be. The Gibson air, the nose, the artist. Then darkness returns, and I'm just a shadow again. But that's okay. After all, what better way to haunt someone than as a ghost? These are gorgeous, Ruby says, running her fingers over the velvet pouches. Each one cradles a crystal vial of my ghost scent, nestled in white tea leaves. Very mysterious, very exclusive. We're in her studio apartment, all clean lines and ring lights. The scent of ozone from her air purifier mingles with the white tea, creating exactly the atmosphere I want. Remember, I tell her, they're samples from an anonymous artisan perfumer, no connection to me or the launch. She nods, already staging the pouches for her unboxing video. Trust me, my followers live for this kind of thing. Mysterious luxury drops. Secret perfume artists. They'll lose their minds. I watch her work, remembering when I used to coordinate influencer campaigns from the other side. Now I'm the ghost in the machine, using Ruby's 500,000 followers to seed the city with my chemical trap. My phone buzzes. Another DM about Ramona's art. The Jasmine piece has spawned dozens of articles about the intersection of scent and visual art. There she is on Instagram, laughing in a sunlit studio, surrounded by tablets and brushes she probably doesn't know how to use. The creative process is so organic, she tells her interviewer. I just close my eyes and let the fragrance memories flow through me. Her laugh sounds like dried flowers crumbling. I switch apps before I crack my screen from gripping too hard, but my inbox is no better. Dozens of messages from galleries and collectors, all wanting to commission work from Ramona Gibson, the revolutionary scent artist. Ruby glances over. You okay? Your face just went murder mode. Fine. I pull up my digital art program. Just thinking about new pieces. Wait, you're still creating? Even after? Under different names. I show her my latest works, posted across various accounts. A series on industrial decay, urban landscapes dissolving into abstract scent molecules, each one tagged with a different pseudonym, scattered like breadcrumbs. Damn, Ruby whispers. These are even better than the ones she stole. My stylus moves across the tablet, sketching a new piece. Dried lavender shattering into dust, each particle catching light like broken glass. I'll post it tonight under the name Night Blooming Artist. Okay, first batch of videos goes live tomorrow morning, Ruby says, packing the velvet pouches into her signature black boxes. I've got other influencers lined up to receive mysterious samples throughout the week. By launch night, everyone who matters will be wearing your ghost scent. I nod, adding shadows to my lavender piece. The bitterness of creating art I can't claim has crystallized into something sharp and focused. Each new piece is better than the last, fueled by an anger so pure it feels like clarity. My phone buzzes again. A prestigious digital art magazine wants to interview Ramona about her unique perspective on olfactory visualization. Below that, 3 commission requests from collectors who follow my new pseudonyms, offering serious money for original pieces. You know, Ruby says carefully, you could build something new. These pieces, under your own name, Not yet. I save the lavender artwork and start another, synthetic vetiver molecules breaking apart, rendered in toxic greens and greys. First we finish this. She sighs but helps me pack another round of samples. The click of glass vials against each other sounds like wind chimes made of icicles, like promises. Later, alone in my apartment, I post the new pieces. Within hours, they're gathering attention. Comments praise their technical mastery and emotional depth. One collector offers 5 figures for the lavender piece, saying it reminds them of lost memories. Meanwhile, Ramona posts another studio shot, posing with my stolen jasmine artwork. Art is about transformation. Her caption reads, about revealing hidden truths. I smile, touching one of the remaining velvet pouches. Yes, dear cousin, it absolutely is. My ghost scent rises from the white tea leaves, subtle as rain before a storm. By this time next week, everyone will know exactly what kind of transformations I'm capable of creating. And unlike my art, this one they won't be able to steal. The catering uniform itches, and these non-slip shoes squeak against the polished floors of the Grand Meridian. But they get me through the service entrance without a second glance. Inside, the kitchen's chaos masks my presence. Servers dodging each other with loaded trays, the clash of pots, someone burning orange peel for cocktail garnishes. I adjust my hair net and grab a tray of empty champagne flutes, using it as cover to scope the main gallery. The space has been transformed. Massive prints of Ramona's, my artwork tower over white pedestals, where Caden's signature scent will be displayed tomorrow night. The lighting makes the jasmine moths seem to flutter. "Those go to Station 3, a harried coordinator tells me, pointing toward the press area. Perfect. I arrange the glasses methodically, using the motion to mask how I'm slipping velvet-wrapped vials into the gift bags lined up on the media table. Each fashion editor, each influencer, each industry reporter will receive my ghost scent along with their official press kit. The bags need to be perfect, Ruby had insisted during our planning. Luxury presentation sells the story. She's been dropping hints in her group chats about a revolutionary new indie perfumer about to disrupt the industry. A burst of laughter from the hallway makes me freeze. I know that voice. Absolutely groundbreaking, Caden is saying to someone. This launch redefines what luxury fragrance can be. I duck behind a pillar as they pass. My brother looks immaculate in his tailored suit, but there's tension in his shoulders. He gestures too much as he talks, and beneath his own overwhelming cologne, I catch the sharp scent of gin on his breath. The molecular stability issues are completely resolved. He continues, "Tomorrow night." They turn a corner, his voice fading. I release the breath I'd been holding and return to the gift bags. My hands don't shake at all as I plant the last vials. "Hey, you." It's the coordinator again. "We need help with the art placards." I follow her to a table covered in printed cards. Each one needs to be matched with its display piece. I bite back a laugh as I sort them. I know these artworks better than their supposed creator. "Make sure they're all level," the coordinator says. "Ms. Gibson is very particular about presentation." "Which Ms. Gibson?" I can't help asking. "Ramona, the artist, though I heard the mother's even worse." She shudders and hurries off to handle some new crisis. I'm placing the last placard when I hear him again. Closer this time. "Tomorrow's going to be historic," Caden says, rounding the corner alone. He stops short when he sees me, just another worker in a hairnet. "Oh, carry on." I keep my head down, but I can't resist. "Beautiful artwork, sir." Yes, my cousin has quite the gift. He pauses, frowning slightly. Something about my voice must have triggered a memory. I turn away before he can focus, grabbing my empty tray. Everything will be perfect for tomorrow night, sir. I'm sure of it. He's still staring as I walk past him. The gin is stronger up close, mixing with his synthetic vetiver. Fear and bravado in a bottle. Wait! He calls after me. Do I? But I'm already pushing through the kitchen doors, past the smell of frying oil and burned citrus, out into the loading dock where my real clothes are hidden in a delivery van Ruby borrowed from a friend. My phone vibrates as I'm changing. A message from Daryl. Final batch bottled. UV sensitivity still present. Kay insisted we proceed anyway. I text back a simple thumbs up and start wiping off my catering makeup. In less than 24 hours, this place will be packed with the industry's elite. All of them wearing my ghost scent. All of them witnesses to what happens when Caden's unstable formula meets my molecular catalyst. The night air carries a hint of rain as I walk to my car. Somewhere above, behind the light pollution, a full moon is rising. Perfect timing. After all, the best hauntings always happen under a full moon. I touch the last velvet pouch in my pocket. Soon, brother. Very soon. The grand meridian throbs with bass and bodies, a sea of black designer wear punctuated by flashes of gold jewelry. I adjust my dark wig and press deeper into my corner near the sound system, just another shadow in the crowd. The ozone smell from the overworked electronics mingles with hundreds of perfumes. Most prominently, Caden's signature scent, pumped through the ventilation system like some kind of olfactory marking of territory. But, underneath, growing stronger as the room heats up, rain on concrete, my ghost note, rising from the skin of every influencer, every editor, every industry player who received a mysterious sample. The reaction has already begun. I can smell it. Isn't it divine? A woman in Valentino gushes to her companion, touching her neck where my formula sits. So subtle, so haunting. Ruby glides past in a gold lame dress, winking as she live streams to her followers. The energy tonight is incredible, she purrs into her phone. Something revolutionary is in the air. She has no idea how right she is. Already Caden's synthetic vetiver is starting to shift, the molecules destabilizing as they meet my catalyst. Most people won't notice yet. Their noses aren't trained like mine. But soon. Ladies and gentlemen! Caden's voice booms through the speakers. He stands on a small stage, backlit by a massive projection of Ramona's stolen artwork. My artwork. The jasmine moths seem to swarm behind him. Tonight, we redefine luxury perfumery, he continues. Tonight we... He pauses, nostrils flaring slightly. Someone near the stage is wearing a heavy dose of my ghost scent. Movement catches my eye. Mother, Cynthia, enters through a side door, diamonds glittering ice blue under the art lights. Her gaze sweeps the room with practiced precision. For a fraction of a second, our eyes meet. She doesn't react, but her fingers tighten on her clutch. The future of fragrance, Caden recovers, is about innovation, about pushing boundaries. The air grows thicker as more bodies pack the space. Sweat activates the chemical reaction, accelerating it. A fashion blogger near me wrinkles her nose, touching her throat where Caden's cologne has started to turn. What's that smell? Someone whispers. Like spoiled milk? Ramona works the crowd in a painted silk dress, taking credit for my art with practiced ease. The creative process is so intuitive, she tells a cluster of admirers. Each piece flows from pure inspiration. I create a new piece in my mind as I watch her, a woman made of stolen light, dissolving into shadows. I'll post it tonight under my latest pseudonym. The room gets warmer, the reaction spreads. More people are noticing now, exchanging confused looks as Caden's signature scent curdles on their skin. His voice takes on a slight edge as he continues his speech, though only someone who knows him would hear the panic creeping in. Mother moves through the crowd like an Arctic wind. Her own custom perfume, my creation from before, a shield against the chemical chaos. She passes close enough for me to see the tension in her jaw. She knows something's wrong but can't place what. Jesus! What is that smell? A prominent critic fans his face with a program. Caden's voice rises, fighting for attention as his audience grows restless. The future of Gibson fragrances. Sorry, I need some air, a woman announces, heading for the door. Others follow. Behind Caden, the projected moths seem to multiply, their wings beating in time with the bass. The room smells of rain and concrete and spoiling synthetic vetiver, an olfactory representation of everything falling apart. Mother reaches the stage, whispering something urgent in Caden's ear. His face remains composed, but his cologne betrays him. Fierce sweat activating more of my catalyst, accelerating the decay. I check my watch. Right on schedule. The bass drops, vibrating through my bones as I slip toward the exit. My work here is done. Let them search for answers in the ventilation system, in the champagne, in each other's perfumes. They won't find anything but ghost traces of rain. Behind me, Caden's voice cracks mid-sentence as the full wave of chemical reaction hits. I smile, tasting ozone and victory on my tongue. The reaction hits critical mass like a wave of invisible smoke. One moment, Caden's still desperately pitching his revolutionary fragrance. The next, 300 of Manhattan's elite simultaneously register what's happening to the scent on their skin. Oh, God! A socialite in Dior gags, pressing a hand to her throat where the cologne has curdled. What is that? The smell of spoiled milk and chemical rot floods the gallery. Phones rise like a forest of glowing rectangles, documenting the moment. Someone laughs, a sharp, startled sound that triggers more nervous tittering. Is this some kind of joke? A beauty editor fans her face with a press kit. It smells like something died in her. I press my back against a pillar, every sense heightened by adrenaline. The rubbery squeak of designer shoes on polished floor as people back away from each other. The wet pop of champagne bottles being opened in a futile attempt to mask the stench. The acrid note of collective panic rising beneath expensive deodorant. Caden stands frozen on stage, his practiced smile cracking at the edges. Under the harsh spots, sweat beads on his forehead, activating more of his cologne, making it worse. The massive screen behind him still projects my stolen artwork, jasmine moths now seeming to flee the scene. What's happening? Ramona's voice rises above the murmurs. She clutches her painted silk dress to her nose. Caden, what's wrong with the perfume? Mother moves like a shark through the crowd, whispering urgent instructions to staff. But it's too late. The reaction is chemical, molecular, impossible to stop. My ghost note hangs in the air beneath the rot. Clean rain before a storm. My dress is ruined! Someone shrieks. This stuff is turning rancid! More phones appear. Live streams start rolling. I catch fragments of influencer commentary. Biggest launch disaster since... literally decomposing on our skin. Gibson reputation in free fall. Caden grabs the microphone again. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain calm. We're experiencing a minor technical... Technical? A prominent critic laughs harshly. This is chemical warfare. My dry cleaning bill. The ventilation system kicks into high gear, but it only spreads the corrupted scent faster. People stream toward the exits, leaving half-full champagne glasses in their wake. One tips over near my feet, the liquid soaking into my shoes with a sound like distant laughter. This is sabotage, Caden announces, his voice cracking. Someone has deliberately, but nobody's listening anymore. The room's attention has fractured into hundreds of individual dramas, socialites calling their drivers, journalists dictating notes, influencers going live with increasingly dramatic reactions. Through it all, my ghost note persists, subtle, clean, a counterpoint to the chaos. Those wearing it find their skin untouched by the decay. I watch Ruby discreetly point this out to key industry players, setting up tomorrow's Whisper campaign. Mother finally reaches Caden, her diamonds flashing as she grips his arm. Even from here, I can read her lips. Shut it down. Now. Behind them, the projection flickers. For a moment, the moths seem to swarm around Caden's head like a crown of thorns. His face is the color of spoiled cream under the lights, all pretense of control evaporated. My eyes are burning, someone complains. Is this even legal? The gallery lights snap to full brightness, killing the atmosphere. Staff hurry to open windows despite the summer heat. The smell of hot asphalt drifts up from the street, mixing with the chemical disaster in a way that makes my nose tingle. Caden stumbles off stage, Mother steering him toward a service exit, but not before I catch the raw fear in his eyes. He knows. Maybe not exactly what happened or who did it, but he knows this isn't a technical glitch. This is revenge. I slip out with the crowd, letting their momentum carry me through the ornate doors. Behind me, the Gibson Empire's future evaporates like synthetic vetiver in summer heat. My shoes leave champagne footprints on the marble floor. Temporary ghosts, already fading, but the scent of rain lingers, promising storms to come. Dawn breaks over the city as I refresh my phone, watching the Gibson Empire crumble in real time. Perfume Gate trends alongside clips of socialites gagging, their designer dresses stained with Caden's corrupted cologne. Beauty editors are already publishing think pieces, The Death of Synthetic Luxury, and Who is the Ghost Perfumer? Ruby's done her job perfectly. Her viral video breaks down the disaster, casually mentioning the hauntingly beautiful rain scent that somehow survived the chemical catastrophe. The comments explode with demands to know more. Your ghost is haunting all the right people, she texts. 3 major houses already DMing me about the anonymous artisan. I stop at a coffee cart, ordering something strong and sweet. The vendor's radio plays a morning show segment about the launch. Sources suggest systematic fraud within the Gibson family, including allegations of stolen artwork. My stolen artwork. Right on cue, my phone lights up with notifications. Art blogs are picking apart Ramona's claims, comparing timestamps, analyzing metadata. Someone's found my original digital signatures buried in the Jasmine Pieces code. This is clearly the work of Sonia Gibson, an expert declares in a viral thread. The technical sophistication, the molecular motifs, Ramona's entire portfolio is fraudulent. I sip my coffee and walk east, letting the rising sun warm my face. The city wakes around me, delivery trucks rattling past, early commuters hurrying to trains. The air carries notes of exhaust and something sweeter. Jasmine vines blooming on a brownstone fence. My phone buzzes again. Mother, for the first time in 6 months. We should talk. I delete the message without responding. A notification from Daryl. Board meeting in chaos. Kay claims sabotage but can't explain the molecular breakdown. Your name came up. Of course it did. I'm probably the only perfumer alive who could have engineered that reaction. Let them speculate. The evidence evaporated with the ruined cologne, leaving nothing but questions and the lingering scent of rain. I pass a newsstand where fashion magazines scream yesterday's headlines about Caden's revolutionary launch. By next issue, they'll be running very different stories. Already, industry insiders are whispering about the true heir to the Gibson legacy, the prodigal daughter whose talent was suppressed. Major Gallery wants to show your real work. Ruby texts. The Molecular series, under your real name. I pause at a corner, watching sunrise paint the buildings gold. 6 months ago, I was a ghost, erased from my own life. Now my art is being recognized, my skills acknowledged. Not through forgiveness, I neither want nor expect that, but through truth. The jasmine scent grows stronger as I near my apartment. Someone's planted window boxes, the white flowers reaching toward morning light. Their sweetness mingles with my ghost note, still detectable on my skin from last night. One last message lights up my phone. Ramona. You've ruined everything. I laugh, startling a pigeon. No, cousin, you ruined everything when you stole my work. I just showed everyone the truth. She doesn't respond. She's probably busy dealing with lawyers, watching her borrowed reputation dissolve like synthetic vetiver in summer heat. My apartment still smells faintly of solvents and burned toast, but I don't mind anymore. These are the scents of resurrection, of a ghost becoming solid again. On my tablet, 3 new commissions wait for my signature. My real signature, this time. I open my notebook, past pages of molecular formulas to a fresh sheet. Time to create something new. Something true. The jasmine outside my window nods in the morning breeze, its scent carrying memories of other mornings, other creations. My phone keeps buzzing with messages from journalists, galleries, perfume houses. They all want to know who I am, what I'll do next. For now, I let them wonder. Let the mystery of the ghost perfumer linger a little longer, like rain before a storm. I am not forgiven. I am not forgotten. I am simply finally seen. And that's worth more than any family name.